Hi, I'm Jing Lee. You can call me Leo. I'm a student in the University of Oregon, majoring in business and economics. Right now, I am interning with Amazon at Seattle as a financial analyst. Personal interest is to travel, to read, and to meet different kinds of people. For international students, I think GPA, let's say, is very important because you cannot have the same capability of writing or communication compared to Native American students. So you need to have something to offset or to make up your disadvantage. GPA is something that very solid. It is something very solid that can show on a resume, and they can impress no matter employee or your professors. And also GPA is a very good way to build a good connection with your professor, because once a professor would like to write a recommendation for you, either because you are very motivated in class, you are very unique, or you have a very high GPA. I don't think there is any other ways to impress your professor to write a recommendation for you. On the other hand, if you want to get an internship in the United States, you should probably prepare your GPA to be very high. Because high GPAs always help when you are trying to find an internship, especially when you are doing the interview with them. Because if you have a low GPA, you need to have like 20% or 30% of your interview time to explain why you have such a low GPA or why your GPA is not above 3.5. And so that will reduce your time to show others strengths of you, or reduce the time to let employee to know you better. So overall, I really think GPA is very important for international students if you want to have a further or long-term career in the United States. In terms of how to build a good relationship with professors, I think at the beginning you need to have an idea about who is going to write a recommendation for you, or who you want to be in touch for a long time relationship. Like what I did in the past is like, I know I'm gonna have 3 or 4 professors who can be my reference in the future. So I search for some opportunities to get in touch with some professor, and eventually that pay out. First, you need to, you need to help your professor. What does mean is that you need to get to know them. You need to let them to have an impression on you, and then they will become, your relationship will become better and better and closer. And after that point, you can treat them as your family. That's what I did with my professor. You can share your failure, your success, your happiness, and even sadness with them. Sometimes you can email them, or sometimes you can ask them for a meal or something like that. After that, your relationship will be better and better, and eventually you guys will be together you will treat each other like a family member. And that's the key to develop a relationship with your professor. You cannot build this long-term relationship with them in just a couple days or even a couple weeks. You need to be patient. Sometimes you need to waiting for like a couple months and even 1 or 2 years to be in a position that your professor treat you as their son or daughter or whatever, and you treat them as one of your family, even like your dad, American dad or American mom. I heard about Amazon's internship last September. Actually, Amazon's recruitment team came to our campus for hiring UO students for their internship. And the director of economic department, the director of career and service economic department organized a luncheonary with Amazon's recruiter as well as other economics students. So I was one of them, and I had a chance to submit my resume to the recruiter. And after a couple of days, I got an email from Amazon's recruiter. They said like, hey, we would like to learn more about you. Would you please schedule an interview with us? And then I did do an interview with them. That was a 2 hours interview in Seattle in their headquarters. It is very intense. They have 4 different interviewers asking for you about 4 different topics of questions, like accounting, finance, general background, and leadership. The most of the questions in the interview are behavioral questions, and some of them are technical questions. So if you want to get an internship in Amazon or some other big corporations like that, you need to get yourself prepared for those. Especially for an entry-level internship, you should probably need to focus on more behavioral questions. Like, tell me a time when you failed to complete your commitment or something like that. And to be honest, during the interview, I feel really intense. I feel my answers to the questions are really bad. But eventually, I made it, and I got an offer from Amazon. So Amazon's internship, I would say, I really like that because it was an amazing experience when you are able to work in one of the Fortune 100 companies in the world. The experience there is great, is incredible, and you cannot find you can barely find any other place like Amazon for an international student to work for. Because for other companies, like especially mid-sized company or local company, because of working visas issue, they won't hire international students for their intern. So actually, international students, choice or options are very limited, and I definitely think Amazon is one of the few employees that welcome and encourage international students to apply. If there is any tips I would like to give to international students, I would say get yourself prepared and go big instead of go to local company. You can try Google, Intel, or Amazon. Those big companies, because their culture of diversity, they always love and welcome international students to apply for their internship. At least I know Amazon is a good place. The History 201, which is United States history, was probably the most difficult class I have ever taken in my college life. I have no idea how to write a 10 pages paper, and I had no idea how I will be able to read more than 100 pages in 1 week. And eventually I ended up getting a C for that class, which is, to be honest, that really sad. That really hurt my feeling. I saw I was an A student, but eventually I got a C for that class. I was very disappointed and very frustrated about my grade, but I decided to study again, to start over. In the next term, I took 4 classes, which is like BA11 Physics 102 and 2 AEI class. I end up getting 4A for that term. That bring my confidence back, and also showcase that if you have your goal, if you really want something, eventually you can get it. There is not a matter of whether you get it or not. It is a matter of how many times you want to sacrifice to get what you want. So the reason why I pick up Evolve to describe my college life is that I really think during a college life you need to have something to push you go further and further. I would say for myself, I am a man of great sense of pride, self-pride. So I really like one quote, which is the greatest interest of a genius is to conquer another genius. So during my college life, I have a couple friends, or you can call us rivals or something like that. Because when one people in your friend circle or life circle go further and further. I really want to catch up with them. I don't really want to get myself behind. I always want to be in the top. That's why during my college life, I have a couple of friends who are, as good as I am and as motivated as I am. So because of this rivalry, we always keep ourselves motivated, ambitious, and we are all getting better and better through the whole college life. So actually, evolve means to be a better self, to be a better yourself, to become better and better. Not only compare to others, but also compare to your past. That's the most important thing you need to do in your college life. And on the other hand, you need to have a goal, a very clear goal, what you want to do after you graduate, what you want to get out from the college after you graduate. Like my goal is to go to a top tier business school like Harvard and Stanford. I don't know if I can make it or not in the future, but right now that's my goal. That's why I really want to build up myself, to get myself ready for this challenge. That's my ultimate goal in my college life. Everything I did in the past and everything I am doing right now are all for this goal. Because I still remember like maybe 1.5 years ago, I checked the Stanford MBA students' profile. I found out if you want to get a deferred offer from Stanford MBA program, you need to have a really high GPA, probably around 3.8, at least for international students. And you need to have a multiple executive positions during your college life in different clubs or student organization or whatever. And also you need to have something very special. No matter leadership skill or honors or scholarships or everything like that, you need to improve. You are one of the best undergraduate students in order to get yourself a position or get yourself a deferral offer from one of the top business schools in the United States like Harvard, Stanford, Yale, or MIT. So I would say make your goal clear and always be persistent with working on it. When I was in the first term in University of Oregon, I took 3 classes: AES 111, what's the other one? Linguistics 150, and History 201.